Good morning, everyone. I hope that you can hear me okay. Let's start with the lesson today, that this is about SQL. First of all, I would like to share uh, the path with you. If you open this document, I will share my screen. Okay, I think I can. One moment. Okay, you can see it. So there are some links from yesterday. There are some uh, cheat sheets that are quite useful if you want to remember what we have seen yesterday. We have, for example, this one where we can see how to strat cases, strat variables, group by, summarize, etc. So for example, you can print them and you can have them as a reference. It's a very good summary. Also, we have this one that is explaining the differences between red CSV and red CSV2 if we use a semicolon to separate the elements, to reshape data, etc. Are quite complete these. And also for ggplot, you have this one as well. Where it's explaining, for example, the different geometries that we can use. If we use one variable, two variables, these are very complete, so I would recommend you to have a look and have them as a reference for the future. Also, Julian, that was helping out yesterday, suggested this blog post. That this is also quite interesting if you want to learn a little bit more about ggplot and how it works. The good thing is I start mm, quite basic, and is getting like more and more complex, and you can learn a lot about because it starts from a box plot, and you can see that the graphs are getting more and more complex. And well, at the end you have the code. So yes, I recommend you also to have a look at this blog post. Okay, so let's start with the. I will stop sharing. Oh, sorry, I saw that yeah, the font was about it's a little bit small, but yeah, it's you have. I mean, the only thing that I wanted to show you is the that you have there the links to download these reference files, just to a recommendation to keep them for the future in case that you want to use them. So today's lesson is about SQL. We have seen the first day on Monday, we have seen that we can have a set of data that could be in a spreadsheet or a CSV file. We use spreadsheet, Excel or well, OpenOffice to have a look at the data. Also, we use OpenRefine to clean the data, And during Tuesday and Wednesday, we learned a little bit about R uh, to uh, to do some queries, also to clean the data, to do some plotting. And today we will talk about SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and we can use it when we have a database and we want to do some queries. What we will see is similar to yesterday, where we have our data frame and we were doing some operations, some queries to get the maximum weight of animal in a given year, uh, to get the answer to the questions that we may have during research. And today also we will create a database, but the files that we will use are CSV, comma separate values. And we will create a database, but is the type of database that we will use is a relational database. That what that means that the tables that we will have in the database are related each other, keeps a relation. And why we are learning about use SQL, use relational databases, for instance, when you the data that you may receive from your colleague could be on a database. So it's always good to know a little bit the syntax of SQL in order to perform queries. Also, is quite efficient when we have a large amount of data. It's quite efficient to retrieve the uh, tables of the calculations that we may want to do. Is also having a database is much more difficult to accidentally delete data, because you normally do queries and sometimes you don't have the permissions to edit the data. So it's also a way to secure that. What we will do uh, is does everyone have installed the software? The software is called, give me 1 second. It's a database browser for SQLite. Okay, I see that one person couldn't. What was the error? The R SQLite, this is an example that we will see at the end. It's a small example. So we will not, it's a tiny at the end. What if, yeah, if you want, yeah, later we can have a look and see what the error is during the break, but it's not, we will see just a tiny example at the end of this lesson. Um, okay, I will share the link where the okay, so it's over there, and you can, one moment, too many windows open. Okay, so it's this. So if you go to the main website and click here in the 2021 version 3.12.2 release, that's it, this on the bottom of, oh well, sorry, you already this in the main website. You can click on download, and here you have the all the versions that you have a Windows that this is to install the version. Also, there is a version that is you don't need to install. That this is like portable. So you have this the same in MacOS, and in also it's possible to get to install this on Linux. So I'll give you a moment to because I see that two of you don't have installed. Yes, to install it. Which version do you have? Are you using Windows? Ah, Linux. Ah, okay. So in that case, one moment. Uh, Ubuntu or any other? Fine. Okay, so it's here. It's the I will copy the. Mm, mm, okay, you need to follow these steps. You need to add this repository, then update the cache, and then install SQLite browser. I will copy these commands on the terminal and I will sorry, in the terminal, in the chat. Okay, so today we are using SQLite. That this is a database management system that we can have a different system. We can use well, today we will use SQLite because you don't well, you need a software to work with this database, but the our database will be in one file. So that's quite convenient. If we want to send the database to someone else, we need just to send the file. We don't need to. Other databases are more complex because there are aiming for uh, a larger number of users and gives much more features than the SQLite. But for what we will learn today, for our purpose, SQLite is good enough. Other database management systems are MySQL, PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL Server, etc. And also for the databases, the structure we have our database, and the database could have a different several tables, and each table has a different an amount of columns and several rows or entries with the information. So I will mm, okay, I will open the software. And now I need to okay, sorry, I need to make this because it looks quite small. Then uh, I think if I do that, so I will use. Yeah, sorry, I'm modifying the because I have some. I'm using a big screen, and the problem is when I share that big screen, the font is very small. So I'm trying to reduce to make the resolution bigger, and you can. Yes, I'm sharing that, but I will I will stop sharing and uh, let me check if I can modify the resolution of this. Okay. should be. Okay, I will try with this resolution and you can let me know. Okay, what I need now is to share the whole screen. Sorry for this channel. So this is the window that we have. Can you see the window okay? For some, okay, I will do. Sorry again for the tunnel, but yeah, to see the chat. Fine. Uh, Now for me, it will be more difficult to see the chat, but yes, if you type something, I'll try to, or feel free to unmute and let me know. Because now, rather than sharing the application, I need for this software, I needed to share the whole screen because otherwise you don't see the pop-up windows. Okay, so this is our the software that we will use today. Also, we need to download. If you go to the share path, that is a link where we have the files that we will use for our database. But first of all, okay, let's create a new database. So if you see here, you have a button here to create a new database file, and we will go to desktop and select a name. For instance, I will use DB database Edinburgh. Just select the name that you want. And we get this, well, a new window to create a table, but we will click on cancel. So now we have our database. Our database will be one file where we will store our data. And you see that well, the database is empty. We have no tables, no indices, and no views. Are you using uh, yes, what platform are you? If you, what I did is if you type, if you press the Windows key of your keyboard and start writing DB browser for SQLite, you will get the window open. Please let me know if that works for you. Ellen, what do you want me to repeat? Sorry again for this tunnel. Okay, I will stop sharing it. Okay. Are you in Ubuntu or other Windows? Have you installed the software? So in that case, I think if in Windows, if you have your, I don't know, I think you have like a search that where you can type DB for The software is called DB Browser for SQLite. I will. So do you find that? Mm, so in that case, should we install? So what we can? No, no, that's fine. It's don't know what we can do. Mm, should we install? Maybe we can create. It's okay, Kevin, if we create a breakout room and you have a look. Oh, well, also there is a way that you can download the portable version. Okay, let me check the website. Uh, there is a version that you don't need to install, I think. I think if you download that version and you open it, that's it. You don't need to install it. We'll have a look. Uh, yeah, I think if you download that version, you uncompress the version and you click on DB browser for SQLite.x. So you need to double click in this file and you will see your window open. Let me know if that works for you. Yeah, so everyone is with the window open. Sorry for this delay, but yeah, I mean, it's important that everyone, we are like in the same, uh, with the window open and together. But yeah, if normally these issues when it's face to face are easier to solve, but online, yeah, takes some, yeah, no problem. I mean, it's not, I should have sent better instructions for the installation. So, well, good. Now, glad that we have the. I will share again my entire screen, so you will see again the a weird tunnel. Okay, so I will repeat again, but well, for those who already have the database file, that's it's not needed to repeat that. Well, if you can, what I will do is I will close the database and I will create a new database here with this clicking in this button. And I need to choose a name. So the name could be like a DB dash Thursday, because I think I already chose, yeah, Thursday. But what you can, yeah, the name should be like something more descriptive regarding the research that you are doing. And you get this window open, this pop-up window open with the edit table definition, but it's not needed. So you don't need to just close. And now we have this, we see that we don't have any tables, indices, views, or triggers. And what we will do is we will import the CSV file. So what we do is we click on File, Import a table from CSV file, and if you have downloaded the files, you will have a folder something like this, and you have surveys, species, and plot .csv. So what we will do is we will import surveys.csv. Do you have these files in your computer? If not, the link, the download is in the share pad that I have shared before. So what we will do is we will select surveys, and we get this import CSV file. So I see that we have well, table name is the same, surveys, and we have a look to see if the uh, data looks okay. So seems so, because we have the column names here that are right. We have also record ID, month, day, year. So yeah, seems okay. Here you have some configuration in case that the field separator, for instance, that you have the comma, semicolon, tab, have also the quote character. This is for strings, coding. You have all of these options in case that you see something weird in this view of the data. So we click OK, and now we have a new table on our database called surveys. Also, we can click here in modify table, but we got a message saying that to edit the table we need first to save our database. So yes, we click on save, and we see the don't know if that could be maybe bigger. Okay. So we see the table that we have. Well, this is the SQL command that the software used to create the table. But what we can spot here is for each, well, we create a table surveys, and we have the names of the columns, and also we have the types. For SQLite, we have a integer, we have a text, and also we have a real. That we see that record ID is integer, nice, month integer, day, year, integer, plot ID integer, good. Species ID is a text, sex is a text because it's a character, fine. But we see that hint footer length and weight is a text. We would like to change that to real. So that's easy. We select here, and we get the different types that we can use. We select real, and for weight as well, we will select the real. And you see in the bottom that the SQL command has been edited. Now we have a real and real. Now it's import all of the uh, queries that we will perform. For example, for this software, it's not needed to finish them with the semicolon. But in case that you use the terminal, that is also a possibility. Uh, you need you need to introduce a semicolon to let the program know that you have finished the query, the sentence, let's say. And what we will do, this is like a exercise for you. Okay, we click on OK. We have two more tables. We have the table that is called plot and the table that is species. So we will import these tables as well. I will give you a few minutes. You can let me know. Shading. This is because maybe if you get a field 1, 2, I think you need to, when you import the table, you need to select the, give me a second. You table process be fine, need to species. Okay, there is an option that says column names in first line. You need to click on that option. Otherwise, you get field 1, field 2, field 3, field 4. If if you want to repeat again the steps, you can delete the table. If you click on with the right button of your mouse, you get the option delete table, and you can import again the table. Grand. And you get all text for some of them are integers, like for instance, the month, plot ID, record ID. Okay, fine. What we have done is weight and hint footer length. We change it to real, but that's the only modification that we have done. Now what we will do is we will import plot and species in our database. Yes, I'm waiting to. I was just like typing if have you import plot on what is the other table? I forgot the species. So now the idea is yes to import these three tables. Done. Okay. So I will. Okay. So I will import. I will share again my screen. Okay. So I will import this table. So I repeat again, file, import, table from CSV file, and I have yes, species. I have a look that yes, I have here in we have the column names that are okay, and we see that yes, looks okay. Can have a look and see if the species ID, genus, species, taxa, yes, should be okay. We can Also here, if we click in browser data, we can have a look. Okay, it's fine because we have is everything text, so that's fine. Okay, so let's import table from CSV file. Yeah, plot. So plot, okay, we see that the first column should be, I guess, should be integer, and the other is the plot type. Fine, that is a text. I will see, well, I can see that here the schema is, well, you see the font is very small. Create a table plot, that is plot ID is integer and plot type is text. So that's fine. And now we can, okay, we can continue with the, and we can write our first query. This program to browse data, okay, we can go here and select the table that we want to see and have a look. But also we can execute an SQL command. So okay, let's start now. We have created our database. We can import our tables. And what we will do now is to learn the SQL language in order to get the result. So to see the contents of a table, for instance, we will use the command select. So let's start typing. We'll use select. Uh, after this, we need to say the columns that we want to select. This is similar to yesterday. If you remember yesterday with R, we have a select function. So we do select everything. So this is if we type a star. And I need to define the table that I want to, the one that I want to do the query. And in this case, we will use surveys. So we use from surveys. Also, well, we get there the to execute that is control enter, and we get well, here we got some statistics that execution finished without errors. We got more than 35,000 rows. Also the time. Yes, well, we got the, and we can see here the output of this SQL command. Not sure if there is any. Okay, sorry, that was. Well, you may notice, okay, for this is up to you, but first, normally what I do is the SQL words, let's say select, from, etc. I write them in capital letters, and the rest I use small letters. This is let's say the default, but it's up to you. You can use. I have seen some people use the other way around, but the most common way is to use for keywords like select and from, use capital letters. Also, if you are interested in selecting only a column, you can select a year, and we get the years that, or I can select the year, month, day. So select is to say the rows that I want, and from I need to specify the table. Also, I can edit the results because we returned 35,000 rows, more than 35,000. But I can say that I want only 10 rows. So I can use the keyword limit and say the number of rows that I want. For instance, 10. If I execute that, you see that the result is 10 rows. Well, this much faster is in 13 milliseconds. And you see that I only have 10 rows in this query. For example, I'm selecting, before I did select the year from surveys, and I get all of these numbers. But what if I want uh, to know how many years do I have? I mean, the list of distinct years that I have. So what I can do is if I add the keyword distinct, that also I get there the suggestion. If I use that and I execute, I get 26 rows and I get the list. I get 77, 78, etc. until 2002. So I know the different years that I have in my database. Also, I can get the different species ID. So I see that there are 49 distinct species ID. Also, you may remember yesterday that we used the function, I think it was mutated to do some calculations to some columns. In SQL, we can do also the same. The weight, in this case, we have a weight in grams, and we can have the weight in kilograms, for instance. So how we can do select mm, okay, species ID, for instance, weight divided by 1000 from surveys. Well, okay, I get here null, but if I scroll down at the species ID and I get this column is the weight divided by 1000. So I get the weight in kilograms. That is a question to delete the lines. So what do you? Yeah, there is a question saying how do you delete the lines here in the? Oh, okay. This yeah, maybe if you need to restart the, yeah, it could be an issue with the. Yeah, sometimes it happens to me, but yeah, the keyboard doesn't work, but not for only one program, like for the rest of. So yes, yeah, I suggest if you can restart the software, could be. Okay, in the meantime, I will share again the screen. Uh, the screen. Actually, well, I will share. That's it. Okay, what else can we? We will see now filtering. That this is imagine that I'm just interested in the species ID that are DM. for instance. So the filtering is select this from surveys. Now I write where species ID, oops, is equal DM. So if I execute that, I get all entries in species ID are DM, and I get the weight for them. Also, well, this is explained later, but I think I can introduce this now. I can say where species ID is equal to DM and weight is not null. If I use that, I get rid of the weights that are null. For example, you see here in SQL, when the data is missing, we use null. If the for R, we use NA. See that there are some questions. Sorry. No problem. Okay, what I will do if give me 1 second, I will try to modify them because I think now I can change the and use one moment. Okay, so I will okay changing rather than sharing the whole screen. I will share the application. I think should be okay now to do the and it's also easier for me to see the. I will try. Hopefully it will work. I think is that one. Okay, perfect. So now, yeah, I'm sharing just the application rather than the whole screen. I mean, the problem is for when we import the tables, you couldn't see the pop-up windows, but now it's not needed, so that's fine. Grand. So, okay, let's continue with that. So let's continue with the. So we have the filtering, and you see that we can use where species are DM and weight is not null, so we can use the and keyword if we want to include. Also, what if we want other species? We can use or. So we can use where species ID are DM or. Well, here I need to use brackets to give species ID equal. I think that is one called DS. Not sure. Yes, DS. So I get this as well. Also, there is a way to use for here. I use a species ID equal DM or a species ID equal DS. But there is another way uh, to um, to write that. The other way, I will copy and paste, and you can see you can use where species ID in, and you can give a vector with the different species. You can use DM, DS, and weight is not null. So both lines are the same. Let's use it. Let's execute this again, and you get this. You get the following the same results. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, you can add a comment in case that, for example, for this, you can use in SQL to comment is double dash. So you can say se select species and weight in. You see, yeah, you can use that and it's included and it's but it's because this is a comment doesn't. Okay, what? Also, I didn't use. We can use because we are using species ID or specific ones. Weight is not null, but also we can work with integers. We can include, and for example, I'm interested in the results from year 2001. So I can say, and the year is larger than 2000. Well, I will include here also in the columns year as well, that we can see. And we get the results that we get are from year 2000. So if I modify here and I write 1995, we get different results. Also, we can do and this is now we will do some exercises. I can sort the the results. To sort the results are okay. We have learned select, that is the columns that I want to show. From surveys, well, from is which table I want to use, and then I use where. That where is where we filter. We want a specific species ID, weight, and year. So I can order by, for instance, I can order by weight. Here is important to keep there is a question that how strict is the order here. Here is important to keep the order. Otherwise, you will get errors. So Normally it's like a selector from where. Yesterday, because we were in R, we were piping kind of, let's say, filter some operations. So was different. We were able to change the order, but here is important to keep the order. Normally, it's always select from where. For example, if I want to order the result, is after where. So is the new keyword is order by. I can say order by weight. That and you see that I have the weight short. By default is in ascending order. If I want to use descendant, I can include the new keyword desk, and I get the weight from large to small. So what? Yes, that was a good question. The order should be always the same. And also you may notice that I use a different. I can use the same line, but will not be readable. I can do something like that. Uh, but mm, yes, it's like a much less readable. It's like yesterday when we use the pipes, we were using one line per function. But here also I recommend the same. Have a select from where ordered by. I have seen in some cases if the where is quite long, also you can split that, but yeah, it's up to you. Okay, so we have seen this is we have seen like some syntax to get to do some queries. I will okay, now it's possible for me to share. I will share this. Let me okay, change the I think is that one allowed. I need to shading this one allowed. So okay, we'll start again the SharePad. You have here some in the episode 2. You have 4 exercises. If you can do them, for some of them we have. Yes, I think you are able. I see that one is you need to use a function, but well, we can see when we solve the exercise together, we can see how we can do that. But yes, there are these 4 exercises. Uh, yeah, play around with the SQL commands and let me know when you finish the exercise. There is a question how to save scripts. Not sure if that's. Well, yeah, that is in execute SQL, and there is a button that is called save SQL file. and you can save the command. Okay, so I will share the other screen. This one. Let's see if that works. Okay, need to stop shading and share again. Okay, now it works. Okay, so let's have a look. I will write the exercise here and we delete this. So first exercise, write a query that returns the year, month, day, species ID, and weight in milligrams. Well, this is similar to the one that we have done before. It's a select. This is year, month, day, species ID, and weight. Because they said that this is milligrams, I needed to multiply, oops, by 1000 from surveys. Well, if I want, I can filter where weight is not null in case that I want, but yeah, that's not. So yeah, this is like the year, month, day, species ID, and the weight in milligrams. You see that the column name is like this, but also you can change the name of the column if you use the keyword as. And you can say weight mg milligrams. And you see that the column name has changed. Okay, so next exercise. Oops, well, we can use produce a table listing the data for all the individuals in plot 1 that weigh more than 75 grams, telling us the date. Okay, so what I will do, because I don't remember the fields, is select everything from surveys. Oops. Okay, the plot ID is here. Is and also, yeah, fine. And now I can start refining it. So, okay, date. So date should be year, month, and day. Species ID. The weight in kilograms. So it's divided by 1000 as weight kg. Okay, so I needed to filter where they said that the plot ID should be 1. Okay. Oops. And weight more than 75 grams. And weight more than 75 grams. Let's execute that. Yes, I think that's it. Okay, here I don't print the plot ID because it's always 1, but in case that we want to debug or to see, okay, what is is it working? I can change that, and I see that plot ID is always 1. But well, this is just to make sure that. Okay, next one. Write a query that returns year, species ID, and weight in kilograms from service tables, sort with the largest weights at the top. Okay, we have already done that, but let's repeat. Year, species ID, weight, again in kilograms. We'll copy and paste it from here. From surveys. Okay, and now we need order by weight at the top, so it should be text. Let's see. So we get year, species ID, weight in kilograms. Oh, yes, it's from Tom to, okay, fine. So that's the, and last exercise. Okay, since that this is a little bit more challenging. Mm. 3 date fields, species ID. Okay, it's quite similar to this query, so I will copy and paste. So display the 3 dates, so it's a year, month, day, species ID and weight in kilograms, nice. Round to 2 decimal places. Okay, in this exercise, ask something that we haven't seen before. That is a function that, I mean, we can use, we will see that later, we can use functions. And that is a function in SQL that is called round. So round is, we get the calculation, weight divided by 1000, and we can specify the decimal points that are decimal places that are 2. Also, they said individuals captured in 1999, so I need a filter where year is equal 1999, ordered by alphabetically species ID, and I remove the desk. Okay. So okay, I have a year is always a 99, month, day. I get the species ID and the weight in kilograms. We rounded. You see that it's only 2 decimal places. And the species ID are sorted by alphabetically. Okay, have any questions regarding the exercises? If not, let me share the is let me share. Okay, before going for a break, I'd like to discuss with you the so the idea is we have a half an hour break, and after the break we have a 15 minutes scheduled to to get feedback. Feedback for us is quite important because it works for future runs of the course to get a better version of this course and to fix issues that you may have found or see, okay, what we are doing well to keep doing this in that way. And also it's important to justify numbers in terms that because if we don't receive any feedback, it's like we didn't have any attendees. That's not the case. So we will appreciate if you can spend some minutes, if not now, when you finish the course this afternoon, to fill in the Archer 2 course feedback that is here. That the only question that is mandatory is the overall satisfaction, and the rest of questions are optional. So it's up to you to fill them or not. And also we have the post workshop survey. That this is a little bit longer, but yes, you can do this in the afternoon. This is this one goes to the Archer 2 training management, and this one goes straight to the carpentries, because this is a course that the material is from the carpentries. So okay, I will copy the links here. Where this is where the course materials are, and I will copy the links of the feedback forms.